Welcome back again with environment and sustainable development in continuation. And in that, we were talking about problems related to environment, and they were categorized into two parts. One was pollution, which we have finished, and even we've done a little bit of the other part, that is excessive exploitation of natural resources. In that, again, we've categorized into two parts. One is deforestation, and the other is degradation of land. So in this, we are going to do degradation of land. That is something to do with, we'll be discussing about soil erosion, waterlogging, and desertification, etc. And we'll also discuss another question: what are the main factors contributing to land degradation in India? So that also we'll be doing. Okay, just go through this. So here we go. So you know what, you just have to remember what you have to do. Once you have that in your mind, it's very easy to answer the question. That's the whole part. Now the question is that what do you think, what is degradation of land? It means loss of fertility of land, and it is caused by these factors like soil erosion. So there's something known as topsoil, which is called which is fertile, and loss of the topsoil is called soil erosion. Now when is topsoil lost? When wind and water sweep over the base soil. And soil erosion is the most serious environmental problem in rural areas. Now it can occur due to natural reasons or due to man-made factors. Now if we're talking about natural factors responsible for soil erosion, yes, you guessed it right. It could be rainfall, wind, temperature, flood, glaciers, landslides, etc. And man-made factors responsible for soil erosion are, that is, we have already studied destruction of forest cover, that is large scale felling of trees leads to soil erosion, and that causes degradation of land. This is known as deforestation. So then you have excessive grazing of animals. When you're talking about excessive grazing of animals or overgrazing, that's called desertification. And we also have what is known as drum cultivation, etc. Now another point is water logging. So when water stops on the topsoil, it tends to destroy the nutrients of the soil, and the soil loses its fertility. So it becomes, as you can see, it leads to alkalinity and salinity of soil. And when excessive water logging when the water is excessively waterlogged, what happens? It tends up to suck up the nutrients of the soil, and it reduces fertility. And in India, nearly 50% of the total landed area is exposed to either degradation of one type or the other. So really, some urgent steps have to be taken regarding soil conservation. That is the need of the hour, as you see. So because if you take the forest, they act as a built-in check on soil erosion by resisting the fury of floods, strong winds, etc. And that goes off when deforestation takes place. Now there's something known as I just said, desertification. Now what happens is, and of course soil loses its fertility because of the quality of and excessive use of fertilizers. That also affects the soil. Now desertification, the spread of deserts in arid and semi-arid areas is referred to as desertification. So when does it happen? It happens due to overgrazing of the animals, because this leads to a reduction of lush green areas. So this is what is known as degradation of land. Then you have what is known as what there was another question that we were thinking of doing, and this that degradation of land in terms of soil erosion is a serious concern in India. According to one estimate, India is suffering soil erosion to the tune of nearly 5 billion tons a year, which means a loss of nitrogen to an extent that loss of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, which are the essential ingredients of soil fertility. One can't even imagine how much. And they are essential inputs of crop production. Now, if you're talking about what are the principal factors contributing to land degradation in India, that is loss of vegetation due to desertification and deforestation. So we've studied both of them, we've discussed both of them. So the spread of desert in arid and semi-arid areas, it occurs due to excessive grazing, that is known as desertification. Then multiple cropping along with subsistence farming by the small and marginal farmers who fail to replenish fertility of the soil. You have to leave the soil for some time. Yeah, it's a good thing to have multiple cropping, but then you have to see how you've got to do it scientifically. Then excessive use of chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides, which raise productivity, no doubt, but are a challenge to soil fertility. Then the groundwater has gone down so deep, so lower water table. So that also, because of excessive use of groundwater, that also leads to land degradation. So this is basically what we were just doing. What are the main factors, as we said, contributing to land degradation in India? You can talk about that.